Welcome to the review of the Eldorado LEGO Fortress, and this is a remake of an older set from 1989, but here in 2023, LEGO has decided to grace and please us by making a remake of this and updating it to the modern conveniences of the era and technology and the different pieces that they have and the printing capabilities and all that kind of juicy stuff. So today, fellas, we're looking at set number 10320, and this is just amazing. And I am calling it right now the second best set of the year. You might be wondering what the first is. Well, we already know Rivendell definitely takes that spot, but this is number 2,509 pieces. I will take you through the set as a whole, and then we'll talk about each individual section. Starting off as a whole, you can display this two ways. You can have it the long way, which I actually don't prefer. I actually prefer the more condensed version, but you can do it long ways or condensed depending on what shelving space you're working with, all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, LEGO has made it available for you to modular it, and it's a modular system, so you can kind of connect it any way you want. You can create your own ways of displaying it. You know, Foggy doesn't care. I don't care either, so you can do whatever you want to with that. But there is 5 sections total, and one is a corner piece, one is the tower piece, one is the main piece. This is where your gate is and the road up, and then a slight little bit of tower is the last one, and then also a dock in the middle, which kind of like rounds out the middle. So we will take a look at all these sections, but first let's just talk about the overall presence of this model, which is just beautiful. There's beautiful texturing, there's beautiful, truly a kit that uses a lot of good techniques, and it's not complicated to build. Like Rivendell was a little bit of a struggle to build, but this one is fairly not complex. It's pretty simple. And so anyway, but this is just beautiful set. There's beautiful marbling and like detail and like just texture in the building, and yeah, so it's just beautiful in that regards. The landscaping below it, the sea, you know, where the water has been rushing up and stuff, the cliff, is just beautifully done with your slopes and your tiles and cheese wedges, and just beautiful encapsulates that island kind of feel, which is just gorgeous. You have the palm trees, which honestly, these are a little bit flimsy to what LEGO usually does, which I was a little bit surprised by that, but there you go. They still look nice, don't get me wrong, they do look nice, but they're just a little fragile. But anyway, let's talk about the road up. The road up into this facility is just awesome. This beautiful marbling, greaveling technique that just really captures that cobblestone kind of path, and I mean, it just literally looks like straight out of history, straight out of a Spanish or English island fort in the Caribbean. Just, they captured this beautifully, in my opinion. Now, it is something to be said that you get a ton of minifigures, not as much as like you know, you could argue for more, but there is a lot of figures. It's 6 Imperial officers, or Imperial soldiers, and then 2 pirates. So the pirates are definitely outmatched, and they are not stacking up to how much the Imperials have, but this is their fort after all. You get an admiral, you get 2 officers, and 3 soldiers, so they're beautiful. We'll get to those in a second and really take a deep dive into those. But yeah, so like I said, there's 2 ways of displaying the set. You can have one long ways and one condensed, and personally I like the condensed better. It just looks more like a fort. Now, you could buy multiple of these and combine them, and maybe I might do that. You know, if this video gets to a couple 100,000 views, we can make that happen, but I'm projecting it to hit maybe 1,000. Hopefully that's going to be on the positive side. But anyway, yeah, so 2 ways of displaying it. Let's get on to the first main section here, which is the gate and the cobblestone road. There's a beautiful officer's quarters at the top of this. At the gate, you do come in, there are some weapons and a sword there. Coming around the bend, you have a kitchen little area, which is a little bit strange, but you know, the soldiers, they have to eat. But it comes around, and then it comes around to this cannon part, and there's 2 cannons actually on this, but you have a cannon right there, and these are the spring-loaded cannons, so they do fire. But anyway, just how they did the angles and the roundedness of this is just gorgeous in my opinion. Moving up, you do have that officer's quarters with an opening door. You got a little map. Now, there's not really enough room for him to be actually like sitting there. There's no chairs, so they could have made this a little bit bigger and it would have been the end of the world, but you know, it still is cool, it serves its purpose. And then on the outside of the officers' quarters, you got this little balcony, and this is one of my favorite parts, but you get guns that are like pointed downwards, which is just awesome. I mean, like, Lego's clearly implying that you're going to kill people with this, and that is pretty nice to see, actually. I mean, not the killing is nice, but the fact that Lego is taking that route and like showing, hey, there is guns, not like, oh, let's throw down rocks at them or something. Like, no, you're going to kill them and kill them. You're going to shoot them and kill them. So yeah, just beautiful way there. And then below it, yes, on all these interior pieces, there actually is rockwork on both sides. So if you are displaying that long ways version, the back doesn't look ugly. And so you have this beautiful technique of the slopes and everything on the bottom. And then you do have a little bit of a cave down there where there's a barrel, and so that's really cool too. So there's a whole underside to this fortress, which is very cool to see, in my opinion. Moving on, I will say on this part that there is kind of just a gap in the wall here, which does not really look good if you're displaying it compact wise. Now it does link up if you're combining and doing it long ways, but if you're doing it compact wise, there's just that little bit of gap where there's no wall, which is a little bit sad to see. Moving on to the next section we have here. This is like almost could be displayed by itself in a way. It's just kind of like a lone tower that you could have maybe, but there's not a ton to say. There's a little bit of a supply room you got, and there's a cannon, of course, that does swivel, and then there's the beautiful rockwork, and then this whole like beer rum room, which is really cool to see, where they've been storing that. And obviously these soldiers, they're drinking apple juice, of course, nothing too strong. They're apple juice, and they're having a fantastic time there, I'm sure. But that is a pretty cool thing to see as well. Moving on to the next section we have here is the crane, the whole crane mechanism, which is very cool to see. And I will show that off right now. So you get this, and you can lower and lower stuff. They do have a chest and a thing that you can load cargo onto the ship, which is pretty nice to see. I've had a little bit of trouble with the rope staying on, so I don't know what that is about, but anyway, there it is, a beautiful crane mechanism in my opinion. It does swivel all around, you know, the works, you got the good stuff. Then there's another supply room down there below that, which is nice to see. A little bit of a ladder as well, a torch and some stuff. So yeah, just really cool. And then there also is a cave below that as well. So yeah, they definitely have your caves for you in this set. But anyway, so yeah, it's pretty cool to see. It looks good on its own too. Like, all these sections actually look pretty good on their own besides the dock one, but like all the other sections look really cool. Moving on to the dock section, which is really the weakest section, but it's kind of the filler, you know? I mean, you can't expect much. Foggy, do not go over there. She went over there anyway. Successfully removing my cat from the filming table, we are now onto the dock, which is, you know, kind of the weakest section of this build, but nonetheless cool. I mean, you know, it's not weak in the building technique, it's just, you know, not a lot to offer here. But you do get a nice table and chairs where your guys or females, whoever, can sit there and chill, have a nice time, eat, you know, so it's a nice addition, and you kind of needed that to fill in the middle, but again, this isn't like the most stellar one. Moving on to the last section of the fortress here, we have the corner piece, which is just tastefully done, beautiful. You got these windows, you got this kind of Spain-looking kind of Spanish architecture kind of look to it, and you got the beautiful top where you could have soldiers and guys, and you have the parapets and all that kind of good stuff. But there's also a jail cell where there is an interior. It's not really much of an interior, honestly, but you do get that interior, which is nice to see. And then of course the rock work on this section is gorgeous, as all the rock work is in this set, which I really like, and that is just very cool. You get a little bit of a waterfall, which is nice as well. So yeah, very cool stuff in this section. And there is some features as well of opening everything up and placing your figures in here and just overall having a good time with it. So that completes the fortress. Now let's move on to the ship. I love this ship so much. I'm in love with small ships, and this is just really cool. This is kind of the first of its kind. I mean, yes, we did have the Caribbean Clipper back in the day, but you know, anything the modern recent, we've not had a small ship. We've had a couple of bigger ships, but not many, and that's very limited. But you do get this tiny ship, which is just amazing to see. I wish LEGO would do more stuff like this, and I really hope LEGO does a whole Pirates theme with this. Would be really cool. But Anyway, back to the ship. It's just ornately detailed. You have all these nice curves, and the bottom of the ship is made up by these brand new pieces, I believe, which are just incredible to see in LEGO. But you do have a ship wheel where you can command the ship from, and the sails are beautiful. They went together very nicely and flawlessly. Did not have a problem with that at all. So yeah, there's the ship, and it is just gorgeous in my opinion. So moving on to the minifigures, possibly the most exciting thing out of this, in my opinion, is the governor, and there is Foggy. She wants the governor. But the governor is just incredible with this printed hat, brand new, mind you, from LEGO, and then also the torso printing as well is just fabulous in my opinion. So yes, the torso, back, and front is printed, and you better believe I'm going to be buying some of these when they get them available on Bricks and Pieces. You already know, fellas. But anyway, moving on to the soldiers, you do get 3 regular soldiers with backpacks, and besides the face, nothing is different about them. Beautiful torso designs, and you better believe I am definitely picking up some of these on Bricks and Pieces when they become available. And then finally, you do get 2 female officers, which have the, you know, the hair and hat combo, which is very nice to see, dual molded, of course. And it's the same kind of print that the regular soldiers have, but it's still a good print nonetheless. And you do get some feathers for the hat as well, which is cool. Moving on to the pirates, this is the antagonist. This is what your guys are working with to defeat this fortress. It's not looking good. It's not looking good for the pirates, but they do have 2 female and a male person. And again, torsos are nice. You know, I don't know how I feel about the bright lean green legs, but you know, that's just kind of a color choice. It's a little bit odd in my opinion, but other than that, they're great minifigures. The torsos are good as well. So yeah, they make for a pretty good antagonist to the guys. So should you pick up this set? Honestly, I don't have a one negative thing to say about this besides maybe the trees are a little bit flimsy, and they could have included some more minifigures, but other than that, there's nothing to complain about with this set. It is a beautiful set. For the price, it is definitely worth it. I would pick it up. I would even pick up multiple, honestly. I believe the Imperials need to have a big ship. I mean, am I crazy here? Am I crazy for saying that? So I'm going to build a huge, massive Imperial ship, and I might not even stop with the ship. I might stop at a couple of ships. Yes, that's right. I'm going to build a fleet of these Imperial soldiers to have to battle this pirate ship. And also, I think the pirates need a little bit of a clipper kind of thing, a little tinier ship. That's just me personally, so I'm going to also build that as well. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, be sure to turn on all notifications so you know when videos are released. Anyway, we got some awesome content on the channel, and I hope to see you around. Hope you comment, you know, share what you think. Did you buy this set? Are you going to buy this set? You know, stuff like that. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and have a good day.